Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Willing to come in and do an investigation and try.
Saliva.
Good evening, people, and sorry for the late delay. We had some technical difficulties right at the beginning, so we have sorted them all out. I am so glad to see a few people on here. Don't forget to tell us about your experiences. Don't forget this is Q&A night, and also you're here to share your experiences with us. Hopefully we've sorted out all the technical problems. So I'd like to welcome Damien, Brooke, Brandon, Judy, Kath, Maureen, I think is still here unless she is already gone. So sorry people that we had to start later than normal. We are now live, loud and proud. So if you've got any questions, throw them up and let's get this started. So if you've got any questions, feel free to throw them at me. Anyway, last night we actually did catch something. We did play it on here while we were getting ready to come online. For those of you who have spotted it, some people reckon it was my hands moving around really, really fast that the camera couldn't catch it. And then my camera apparently was a cheap laptop camera, so I took my laptop in today to get a tech expert who has been doing computers for many, many years. And I was told today that because of the color that you see me in purple is because my camera is an IR camera, and it is actually an IR 4K camera, so it is top of the range cameras. Now, to make sure that no one can come back and say, was my hands moving around last night or was somebody in the background? On behind me, I have a mate who's behind. She is going to be watching from behind. I have my mum who is on the side over here. She'll be watching from the side. And I have my son-in-law, Damien. He is also monitoring the screens on another computer. So there will be no mix-ups. So from now on, if anyone does see anything behind me, please let me know. So if you've got any questions, ladies and gentlemen, then ask away. I see a lot of my people have actually gone. So come on back in if you are here. Can you jump on the Paranormal Unity and let them know we are now live, please, Mum, on the normal page? Okay, I'm already getting private messages coming through. So, yes, we are live. So come on back in and let's get the party going. I'm just going to sit around and wait, and hopefully people will start realizing that we are actually live. So if you've got any questions, please ask.
It's on the Straight Paranormal Unity, not the Unity Live thing.
Just on the Straight Paranormal Unity. And just let them know that we are now live.
Place. How do I get into Facebook?
And post. You go right post.
Okay.
So hopefully people will start coming in. I know that because of our technical difficulties,
It's coming across it anyway.
yeah, we'll just let them know we're now live. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. I know that a lot of people are actually at the Kelvin Crookshank tonight here in Wanganui. So that'll be why we don't have a lot of followers tonight, because a lot of them were going there. If you're wondering why I'm here on a Friday night, it is because our team Paranormal Investigations weren't going to do a live feed tonight because due to our medium who was sick, Linda. So Linda, if you're out there and you're hearing this, hope you get better soon. Plus one of our main guys, Eddie, is really, really busy tonight. So don't forget, guys, to tune in next Friday night on the Paranormal Investigations NZ Facebook, and we will be going live on Paranormal Unity and Paranormal Life. So put that into your calendar and make sure you don't miss it. But I will be back here Monday to Thursday, every Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. I will make damn sure that our technical problems are solved by then. I have the whole weekend to sort it out. So if you're in the house, please jump on the comments and say hello so I know who's here with us. And people, yes, we are live. Okay, who do we have? What's that? Yeah, I think she's asleep though. Oh, okay.
It must flow into your mouth.
All right, we have 3 viewers. Who are they? Can you let me know who's watching, please, so I know to say hello to you? See, it is really lagging a lot. Look at this. Anyway, let's talk about the paranormal. A lot of people don't seem to know what the paranormal is. It's simple. Paranormal is pretty much basically the unknown, i.e. spirits. Why are they here? Why do they hang around? Why do they annoy us? As some people would say, they get annoying spirits, but it's not just about spirits. It's about UFOs as well, believe it or not. They're unknown. Nobody really knows much about them. Some say they're not true. Just like a lot of people believe that spirits don't exist, but there is proof out there, 100%, that spirits are here with us. UFOs have even visited us. So it's all about the unknown now. And I hope he doesn't get upset with me, but one of our guys, I won't mention his name, has actually seen a bona fide flying saucer, UFO, unidentified flying object, whatever you want to call it, when he was younger. So, yeah, so, and I believe what he says. I really do, because there's no reason why he would lie about it. He described it to me, and it was quite a very, very interesting cordial that I had with him. So, it's not just about spirits, people. And, people know that I'm on live and they phone call me. How's that? So, if you want to phone call me, you're going to get rejected. Because if you want to talk to me, here I am right here. I'm live, loud and proud. Hey, Brooke. thank you for coming back on. Where's Brandon? I didn't see his name popping up anywhere either. So if you've got any questions whatsoever, please ask away. Don't be shy, because we're not here to belittle you, put you down, trash you, anything like that. Anyway, for those who were on last night, let's talk about that interesting night we had for the very first time doing this on this brand new page of ours. When I went offline last night, we counted 103 viewers. At the end of the night, there was 113 viewers out there. So I'd like to say thank you very, very much to all those supporters last night who actually came on and supported Paranormal Unity Live. We also, so when we add up the tallies from last night, we had 113 breathing viewers and 1 non-breathing viewer. So there you go, people. The video is up if you want to check for yourself. Somebody did say it was my hand because my video was a cheap laptop video. So I did take it in to get it checked out. Mine is an infrared top of the range video. It also has the top of the range audio and video cards in this computer. So it is not my computer. It was not my hand that was moving around. Kia ora, Diana, how are you tonight? And thank you for coming on in. So that has been disproved. Then again, somebody said it was from the side of me, which I'm sorry about. Unless my invisible person that was meant to be in the same room with me stood well over 6 foot, then yep, okay, there was nobody in the room at the time. It was just me. So tonight we're going to have no mistakes. I have 3 people in the house with me, 1 behind me to make sure that I'm not moving around too much and that I'm not waving my hands around. I also have to the left of me my adopted mum, Kath. She's going to make sure that there's nothing at the side of me, no bugs, no moths, you name it. Ain't going to happen tonight. And then I've got my son-in-law. He is also watching on another laptop. So I have pretty much the whole room covered tonight. It's awesome to have you here. So yeah, so just to cover all of that, what we caught last night wasn't fake, it wasn't human, it was definitely 100% unknown. I'm not going to say that it was a spirit, I'm not going to say that it was a ghost. What I'm going to say is plain and simple, check the video out for yourself. You're going to have to keep an eye on it because you'll see it comes pretty fast and you make up your own mind. Hey Selena, I'm glad that you're on, even though you're not feeling well, my girl. So if anyone's got any questions, any stories of their experiences of the paranormal, I would love to hear your stories. As we say and we keep to our word, we will not belittle you, we will not laugh at you, we will not put you down. This is not the place for it, and if anyone does, they will be automatically booted out of this place. Kia ora, Lynn, and welcome. No, Cam is not by me, Brooke. Okay, she's gone home. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to ask me questions, or if you have had your own paranormal experiences, I would love to hear your stories. So the floor is open to anybody out there who is willing to ask or willing to tell their story. Yeah, we are. Well, let's say that apparently, yeah, we have been, because for the amount of, yeah. How do you prepare yourself before an investigation? Moringa, how do I prepare myself now? Like I keep telling everyone when I do my live feeds, is that I'm not your average paranormal investigator. What I normally do, if it's a home that I'm going to, and if we know the history of the house, if it's pretty much a peaceful place that we're going to. I normally listen to, believe it or not, you take a look at me, I actually listen to opera. And I'm not lying to you, I actually sit down or I lay on my bed before I get ready to go and I listen to opera. If it's an investigation where crap has really gone down and things are really, really bad, I listen to things like heavy metal, reggae, pop, right across the board. Because for me, I need to get into that zone. I need to feel what I'm going into. So that's how I do it. And if you don't want to believe it, you don't have to. But if you know where I live, you can come around. I'll show you my opera list. My favourite, if you really want to know, is called Madame Butterfly. Miss Saigon is another one that I love to listen to. So, you take a look at me. I'm wearing a beanie, leather vest, hoodie, and I listen to opera before I go to an investigation. But it all depends on what type of investigation it is. Hey, Brandon, about time you jumped off that game. So that's what I do to prepare myself for an investigation. Before I even get onto the property, once I arrive, I say a prayer. But that's to cover myself, and I also say a quiet prayer for my team, because that's just who I am. So there you go, Mordinga. Any more questions? Even the people here, if you've got questions, feel free to ask. Don't be afraid. Damien asked a lot of questions last night. It was cool. So if you've got any questions or you want to talk about your own experiences, please feel free to do so. No, I don't. Yeah, no, the batteries are flat because I left them running all night. So I have to get some more batteries. We're supposed to get 2 today. So they're going to have to be on the bookmark for it. The one that Damon's on now. Yeah, so. Hey, Stacey, yes, I'm back, and thank you for coming in and joining us. Doing a live feed. I've also got people private messaging me, asking me, are you on yet? Yes, I am on. So come on in and join the company. Well, hold on, I'm just getting the washing in. I'm glad I can understand your language there, Brooke, because people who are probably looking at that right now going, she's getting the what? Because, your spelling of getting, Getting. My daughter, I love you. What happens when there are no spirits? Then all I can say, Stacey, if there are no spirits, then it's going to be a very, very boring night for you. Oh, coming forward, I mean. Then I guess for me, it's all about being patient. It's all about just sitting there and being respectful to them. If I'm at an investigation and I don't feel anything, I just sit there and I talk. Because for me, if you show them the respect, then maybe sooner or later they may come and talk with you. I have known a lot of investigators who will probably sit in the room for a good 2 minutes and then they just say, thank you very much, see you later. And I'm standing there thinking, what just happened? It's all about taking your time, being patient, being prepared for sitting there and waiting. And if you don't have the patience, then being in the paranormal industry or even being a medium is not the place for anyone to be. You know, you've got to have 100% patience in you. Well, it's hard holding the phone and holding washing. LOL, they probably think I'm mental. Love you too, Dad. No, nobody thinks you're mental, sweetheart. Hey, Teresa, how are you? I can see comments. Awesome. I couldn't see any comments until I made the live full screen. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. At the moment, the computer that I'm facing is lagging quite a bit. And so I'm going from my computer to another computer watching it. So I'm just glad that people are here and that, you know, people are following. At this stage, Paranormal Unity Live, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you the good news. Me and my son-in-law have been working very, very, very hard today to actually build a website for this page. Reason being is because we are hoping that we will be able to stream live through the web page, and for also people who are visiting can find us online on Google, and we'll come on here and jump on in. And you know, I made this page up for the simple reason of this is that people have the right to go onto a page and be able to express themselves about the paranormal and not be belittled or put down or laughed about. And it's simple. If people are going to laugh about you and put you down because of what you have experienced, then they're not really worth talking to be really honest. And so we've decided that we are going to do our best to build this website. I mean, we're not halfway through. We've just pretty much started all day today, so we've been going right hardcore, and hopefully we will be able to stream live not only here but through the website as well. So people, if they don't like watching Facebook, they can actually watch us on our web. So that's what we're doing right now. Can a place have numerous visits from spirits?
If anyone saw anything in the bottom right-hand corner that was quite dark and looked a bit like a shadow, it was a cat's tail.
Oh,
It's
okay.
them up here. It's just, if anyone saw it, it was actually a cat's tail.
Right, cool. Yeah, so that's what we are trying to do right now. We are trying to build a website so we can share everything that goes on here on Facebook. We can reach more people. It also is good for the team that I'm involved in because it gives us two websites to work from. And I will talk about them as well. Paranormal Investigations NZ. We're a group of guys and one awesome, beautiful medium by the name of Linda. They are the best team that I've ever worked for. We all bring something different to the team. Me, I bring my craziness because that's what I am. I'm absolutely nuts. If I see something, I'm not going to stand back and just say, hey, did you see that? I take off running and I chase after it. And a lot of people who have actually been out with me actually think I'm quite nuts because I do it most of the time when I'm at the cemetery. So, you know, you imagine going to a cemetery where it's pitch black and you see something and you know there's no other people around. I'm going to chase you. Have you done, however you spell it, seances? No. No, I haven't. Hey, Gary, welcome, dude. I know it's early hours of the morning over in America where you are, and I'm so grateful that you're here with us. So thank you for joining us. Have you been to the Madonna Falls? I've never heard of the Madonna Falls before. Teresa, whereabouts are they? We don't have a Madonna Falls here, do we?
It's one between
Maranui and Kuri.
Oh, is that what that one's called? No, if that's the one that Fetu has just mentioned, Teresa, no, I haven't. I've been past it many a times on my way to Hamilton or to Auckland. So, what? I can't imagine you running. LOL. I had to see that. Thanks very much, Lynn, for your excitement about me running. But yes, I actually do run. Oh, it's in Oamaru, is it? No, well, I've never had the pleasure. I've never had the pleasure to even sightsee down in that area. So, no. But if you want to tell me about it tonight, on here, I'd love to hear about it. Because, the more people tell us about different places, even in our own country here in New Zealand, or they tell us places over in America or wherever you may be from. So, it would be great to hear. 3:30 a.m. in the morning in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. And this cat, Gary Young, he's like my American brother, because that's how I feel about him. He's like an American brother to me. He has stayed hard to come on here and, to jump on and be company with us. So, Gary, thank you so much, my brother. I really, really appreciate that. But, yeah, I need to tell you about the team that I'm in. Before this team joined forces, I'd actually been doing this now for nearly 7 years. Myself and my adopted mum started it off. We were first called WPI, which stood for Whanganui Paranormal Investigations. And we were going quite well until we started getting all the haters. And so we thought it was best to drop the Whanganui Paranormal, and we've been bouncing around with names. And Eddie and Jason actually came up with the idea of how about Paranormal Investigations NZ. And when I first heard the name, I thought, it was quite funny, PINZ, PINZ. But I actually love it. The team has come together so much, and Eddie's been really, really awesome. He's actually our cameraman / audio man / editor man / investigator. So he has many hats in the team. You want me to smoke before you leave, please?
No, I'm not leaving.
Oh.
We're working something else out.
Oh, okay. And yeah, and then there's Jason, who was my 2IC and WPI, but he decided to drop the 2IC and just became an investigator. And so there's been a lot of changes. I used to be classed as the founder, and that was dropped once we started PINZ. Some people didn't dig that. Some people really didn't like it at all. But it is what it is, and I'm happy to just investigate. It's what I do, and I love it. It's what I'm good at. I'm also good at doing EVPs. Sometimes I need extra ears. Sometimes I'm good at spotting stuff on photos, but I need extra eyes for those as well. So, yeah, we have a page called Paranormal Investigations NZ. Every Friday night we do a live feed from that page, which streams into my two other pages of Paranormal Unity and Paranormal Life. So that's every Friday night, but due to sickness in the team, Paranormal Investigations NZ couldn't do it tonight, so I've jumped on to cover bases for on behalf of our team and also for me. So that's the story about the team, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really glad you and the team are really getting things off the ground there. Yeah, Gary, mate, we are trying our hardest. We really are. We're only a small team, and we're trying to find sponsorships right now so we can get equipment for us, which is really, really hard because people say, we support the paranormal and we love what you do, and then that's as far as the support goes. But that's cool. That's up to the individual. But I'm just happy to do what I do because I love it. It's in me. It's a huge part of me. It's like my life. And if I can continue doing this when I'm in my 60s, 70s, 80s, I will be doing it, because I'm not only doing a service for me trying to find answers, but I'm doing a service for the community and hopefully down the road, the world. And that's what I feel that I'm doing, is that I'm doing a service, and I'm doing a good service. Stacy, Teresa, Diana, and a group admins for our group, by the way. Oh, that's really, really awesome, you three. You guys, are really amazing. Where did that come from? Oh, down there. How much investigations have you done since you've been doing paranormal? Brooke, not enough. Seriously, not enough. I can say that I've probably done over 100 plus, but in my eyes, I haven't done enough. And I had the honour to go over to Sydney a few years back to do one over there. I was actually invited over there by one of the Sydney teams, and it was a real eye-opener for me, because I didn't realise that there was actually an old city underneath the city of Sydney, which really, really blew me away. So, so it was an eye-opener for me, and I love it. Gary, you know what? I reckon you should come over here, bro, and come investigate with us. I reckon it'd be awesome. Now, me and Gary have been talking quite often, Gary? So he lives not far away from a place where if I had the money right now, I would be over there. He lives just a few miles, I think it is, you were saying, Gary, from one of the biggest plantations over there called Myrtles Plantation. Now, Myrtles has a very, very dark history, and apparently that place is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in America, one of the main haunted places in America, so I've been told. And hey, Gary, you know what? How about you tell us a little bit about the plantation, about Myrtle's history, because I know a little bit. I don't know a lot about it. I know there was a lot of deaths on their plantation. I know there was a lot of murders. I think it was the old slave lady who actually killed her master's family because she was actually trying to kill him off, and it actually backfired. Yeah, you're about 3 hours away from Myrtle's Plantation. There you go, people. 3 hours away from one of the most haunted plantations in America. Why am what? My chicken. I feel like I want to go and look. A minute. Oh, chicken out. Teresa, that happens to everybody. It really does. You're not a chicken at all. You're human. Okay? Just because you're keen to get out there and you're keen that you want to go and do it, and then all of a sudden you get there and you're like, no, never mind. It's human. It is. You imagine going to the most spookiest place ever, and you're really, really hyped up. You're in the car you're driving, or you're the passenger, and you're like, yeah, I can't wait to get there. And then all of a sudden, you go up a long hill, and it just comes out of nowhere. And you start going, whoa, what am I doing here? It's human. It's human emotions taking over. It's whether you put those emotions in check and you say, I'm here to do a job, I'm going to get it done. So don't class yourself as a chicken, because I can guarantee we have all done it. I don't believe that there would be any paranormal investigator out there that has never, ever once chickened out. Yeah, he did. There was Nick and Zach. If anyone knows about Ghost Adventures, if you want to know about being a chicken there, Teresa, watch the beginning from season 1. Okay, if you want to see chicken, here are 2 paranormal investigators in a building by themselves, and shit goes down, and those 2 actually jump out a freaking window, 2 stories high. Now, these are guys who are on TV, okay? Zach and them have been doing paranormal for years. And yet, when they first started off, these 2 cats literally jumped out of the building. They wanted out. And because they normally used to do what they call a lockdown, okay, which means that they get locked in their building for 12 hours straight. They didn't even last the 12 hours. They jumped the hell out of that window and they took B for boogie. So don't crush yourself as a chicken, my friend, okay? Everybody does it, even some of the best. If you look at how Auckland City is built, it is similar to how Sydney is designed, though. I don't know if there's a hidden city under Auckland. I don't know if there is Moringa. I wouldn't have a clue, but I do know that there is one under Sydney. Been there, and I would actually love to go back to Australia and do some more investigations. But my first place that I want to go to is where Gary lives, because if we can get into Myrtle's plantation, I would be a very, very happy Kiwi. She poisoned the family in the hopes that she could nurse them back full health, so her master would think she was still useful in the house and not put her back in the fields. But it backfired, and she put too much poison in the food and killed them, so her master hung her. Didn't he also cut one of her ears off? Because if I remember reading it somewhere, Gary, that she was listening to a conversation one time, and he caught her. So he chopped her ears off, or chopped one of them off anyway. Have you been to Whakatane Hospital for Spirits? To be really honest with you, Stacey, I've never even been to Whakatane. Never. I've been to a lot of places, but I haven't seen, to be really honest, a lot of my country, where I'm trying to do my best to find investigations throughout my beautiful country and see the sites and find them. So if you want to, Stacey, you can private message me with different areas that you believe that we should go to. Then, I can put that towards the team and say, hey, one of the ladies that come onto my live feed has suggested that we go to these places. Let's check them out and see what they're all about. Thank you so much for that one. She also got caught eavesdropping once and he cut her right ear off. Yeah, I heard that one. And that's back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, when you were a slave on these type of plantations. It wasn't a good life. I mean, we complain about our lives. Oh, we don't have money for this, or I don't have petrol to go here. I'm feeling really, really ill today, so I'm just going to sleep in bed. We moan about a lot of things. Let's face it, we do. And yet, you imagine these poor Afro-Americans on those plantations being whipped, being raped, being murdered. You think we got it bad? Even having their children taken off them and shipped off to other plantations. If you got caught running away from your plantation, you're either brought back, whipped by your master's right-hand man, I guess, and that, or even killed. Yep. See, now you're lagging because I can see that one up here. Okay, Lake Alice, outskirts of Martin and Wanganui. Teresa, no one's allowed to go there, unfortunately. It's privately owned now. You'll be very, very lucky if you do get in there. I tried once, and I actually had a shotgun pointed at me until I actually explained to the owner why I was there, and I told him that my adopted dad was once a patient there. So we had a good talk, but he was very on edge because a lot of people at night time were jumping his fences and going onto his property instead of being up front, having the respect and going to ask him. So yeah, it's very hard to get into that place. I really wish I could make my way out to New Zealand and go on some hunts with you guys. Dude, I would be honoured to have you with us, Gary. I really would be. I reckon it'd be cool to have you come along. But maybe one day the team can actually get to America and come by you, and we can all go to Myrtle's plantation and do a full-on investigation there. I have emailed the plantation a few times, and yeah, they do charge to do an investigation there. Yes, I am live. Yeah, I'm getting people asking me, "Are you live yet?" So I'm live right here, right now. So yeah, tell your friends, come on in, jump on in here. Don't be afraid. As far as I'm concerned, you guys are family, and we're all here for the same thing, to talk about the paranormal, to show support to the paranormal, to show support for each other. So come on in and enjoy yourselves. Talk about your experiences. If you've had any, ask questions. That's what we're here for. That's why I do what I do. Now, for those of you who have probably been the first time here on our live feeds, I must tell you, I am not like your normal paranormal investigator that jumps on live and sits there and goes, "Hi, my name is John. I'm a paranormal investigator," and go through all that type of rigmarole. Okay, I'm not that type of investigator, if that's what you thought. Okay, I wear a beanie, I wear a hoodie, I wear a leather vest. It's just who I am. I feel comfortable dressing this way, and if you can accept me for what I look like, then hey, that's cool. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not here to dress up for anyone. I'm here to talk about the one thing that I love, and that's the paranormal. Pull an all-nighter because we all know I can stay up late. Hell yeah, Gary. I'm down with you, bro. If we come over there and we do an all-nighter, that'd probably be you and I. So who knows? I know Eddie will want to stay up all night long, and I can't see Jason from the team wanting to go to sleep. So, that'll be us. I really wish, yeah, I read that one. Hi, John. LOL. Gary, did you fall off, dude? Stacy, I'm glad of that second one that you told me about, that Tokanui one. Have I got stories for you? When I was actually living up in Hamilton, and this is what really disgusts me when it comes to the paranormal, is that they have security guards at that place. And I found out from a very, very good source at the time when I was living in Hamilton, that the night security guards were actually charging people to go in there and do investigations. So, yeah, that really, and I'll be really honest, pissed me off to find that out. And that actually came from one of the guards who actually walked away from that site when it was happening because she couldn't stomach it. And because she was just a trainee, she couldn't tell the other security guards that it was wrong. So, yeah, I love to get in touch with the Māori people there, the old elders, and have a good talk with them and see if they would allow us to investigate, because I would really, really love to go there. Well, I'd also love the Stanley Hotel. Gary, you live there. You live in that beautiful country of America, and you're writing to me. I'd also love to investigate the hotel that The Shining was filmed in. The Stanley Hotel. Write it down, bro. I would love to go to that hotel as well. I mean, that hotel is funky. I have seen some documentaries on it. I've seen investigators go there and do it, and even ghost hunters, when they did it one time, and they actually had a camera on one of the back doors. They'd go down the back stairwell, actually opened up and nobody was there and it closed by itself. I mean, how funky is that? Stephen King, one of the greatest horror writers of all times. That's where he got his movie The Shining from. That's where he wrote his story. It was all based on the Stanley Hotel. Down the Waverley pub there, Stacey, my very, very first time when I first started out. And I'm sorry, but we probably wouldn't be allowed to get in there again. My cousins actually own it, and she allowed us to do it one time because the lady who actually owns it is very, very good friends with my family. So, yeah, we did it one night, and we got some amazing, amazing results there. Hey, Lara, how you doing? Yeah, slipping all right, Gary. You're slipping, dude. How can anyone forget about the Stanley Hotel? That is such a beautiful building. And not only is it in the hotel itself, is it, Gary? It's also out in where they do all the storages because they actually put mattresses from the hotel from their guests who have actually passed away on them. That's where they store them in the storage. So you imagine what could be happening in there. And it is actually a proven fact that that area of the Stanley Hotel is also very active. Smash Palace. Now you're talking, Stacey. Let's keep going because the more you give me, the more I can take to the team and say, hey, here we go. Here's a list of places that we need to check out. So anyways, anyone got any questions whatsoever? If you've got any questions, please feel free. I know Lara Johnson went to see Kelvin Cruikshank tonight, so hope it was a good night. I've actually met that guy in person, and I've actually gone to one of his events here in Wanganui. Beautiful guy. Yeah, Wairua Museum would be another one to hold. I mean, all those artifacts that are there would definitely probably have something on them. So, yeah, anyway, getting back to Kelvin, and I've seen the guy, and he's just wonderful. He really is. He's a wonderful guy. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people like Sue Nicholson, and a lot of people don't like her. So, I guess it's all to their own. I like them. Definitely Kelvin, because Kelvin Cruikshank, because I've met him. I've met the guy. He actually kind of freaked me out one time. He was doing a signing here in Wanganui at the warehouse, and I was probably about close to, I don't know, 9, maybe 10th in line. And he walked past everybody in the line, came up and shook my hand and said, how's it going, John? And I kind of stood there and thought, how do you know me? And he just looked at me, he says, I follow you on Facebook. I think you're doing a marvelous job. Keep it up. And he signed 3 of the books that I had with me that day. So I got a hot spot on my back, bringing up all those places, LOL. Then if you're getting told pretty much to tell me about those places, Stacey, then there's a reason for it. I really believe that. So if they're telling you to tell me to give me all them places, then thank you so much. And I like to thank that person, that spirit who is communicating with you. And it's good to have that communication going on. I travel a lot down south. The only place that I've ever investigated down south, Stacey, was Larnach Castle. I don't know if you've been there. If you haven't, go there. I recommend it. The more hotspot that that place has is in the stables where you can actually stay. I recommend it to everybody. If you are going to go and do an investigation down south, don't bypass Larnac Castle. You need to stop in at Larnac Castle and you need to do an investigation there. Trust me, been there, what an awesome time we had. Awesome time. And we got quite a lot of evidence from that place. So I recommend that you go there. The stables is very, very active. The castle itself is active, but we got more out of stables than we did in the castle itself. When we actually showed the evidence that we got to the owners of Larnac Castle, we were told we weren't allowed to use them due to what we did catch, and that broke my heart. So yeah, if you're going to do an investigation down south, I really recommend Larnac Castle. Beautiful castle, really is. You can go online and type it in and see pictures for yourself and think that's a beautiful castle, rah, but to actually see it for yourself, there's a lot of feelings that you get as soon as you get there. Trust me, please, believe me, go to Larnac Castle, people. Well, it's not coming up on Google as it's where is no Larnac, L-A, what is mum? L-A-R, oh no, Larnac, yeah, L-A-N-A-C, I've got to spell it out now, hang on. Go to Google, L-A-R-N-A-C-H. It's L-A-R-N-A-C-H. Stacy, Larnac Castle. And it is the most beautiful castle I have ever seen. And it is worth going to. Okay, if you can all see that. Oh, geez, yep. Yeah, let me try and bring it up for you. If you can see that, that is Larnac Castle, people.
It comes up white.
Is it? Is it coming up white? Can you see it?
Come up white, doesn't it? Just put it up.
There you go. That's Larnac Castle, people. So if you ever get a chance to get down to the South Island, go, do it. It's just out of Dunedin and it is absolutely beautiful. There is a place there, Stacey, called the Stables, which is around the back of the building of the castle. You can actually stay there for bed and breakfast. That's all they do, isn't it, Mum? They just do the breakfast side. Mum? They just do the breakfast side of it? I think it's only the breakfast that they do serve up. The rest of the day you've got to find your own meals. But yeah, and you can have a meal inside the castle itself. It really is an absolutely gorgeous place. It really is. So everybody, I suggest that if you do live down in the South Island and you've never, ever been to Larnac Castle, I suggest you go. I really do. I recommend it for everybody to go along and check it out because you won't regret it. Yeah, actually, you wouldn't be the first one to see to see that at all, Stacey. A lot of people have actually seen that. Now, the history of Larnac Castle, you need to read about it, to be really honest, because I mean, there's just so much history of it. But the knack of it was that Larnac built that castle for his family to live in. He also built the ballroom for his daughter, who passed away before, I think it was, on just after he had built that side for the ballroom. They do have, and the ballroom is now pretty much the restaurant. And he never ever stepped foot back in that part of the castle again. Apparently, history is that he blew his brains away because his third wife had an affair with his son, and that's what they say about history. But you know, not everything in history is true. Some people say that he died at the castle. Some people say he's buried at the castle. He actually died in Wellington. He was actually a member of Parliament, and that's where he took his own life. Was actually at Parliament back in the day. No, it's way past. So, has anybody got any questions before we sign out for the night? Because we've been going a bit over, but that's because we were running late. Yeah. So, what do you see spirits hanging if they hang themselves? Apparently, Stacey, the castle wasn't only just home to the Larnac family, but it was also a mental asylum hospital. It was also, I don't know, a place where the army guys go, where they stayed. So, you know, where they headed for the war. Yeah, it was a rehab. And, yeah, so it's been many things. So just imagine the spirits that they're lurking their place besides the family of the Larnacs. So anyway, I am going to sign off. I'd like to say thank you very much for people who have come on here. Stacey, awesome again. You're so knowledgeable and it's so wonderful. So I'd like to just say thank you very much. Gary, you're the man. You are the man, bro. You've been up all day. You've been working all day because I spoke to you today and you were at work. You're still awake. It's what, almost 4 a.m. in the United States of America where you are right now, and you're still here with us, brother. Awesome. So Gary Young, thank you very much for staying hard with us. Thank you, Diana, for being here. Wonderful to have you aboard. Don't forget, everybody, I will be back here Monday night, 7 p.m. and I do this Monday to Thursday. So make sure you have questions for me, and I will see you then. So until then, have a good night, and thank you for joining me.